Claire here in the Pacific Northwest Puget Sound area grow zone 8B, and we are at the end of April, and I want to invite you to come on a tour of my garden because this is the last time we'll see it this month, and things will just continue to improve and get more magical as we go. But so many things are bringing me so much joy, and I want to share them with you. And also, I've gone on quite a few fancy garden tours this month for really fabulous places, and I want to share that with you also. So come on, let's get started. This is my front garden bed, and I call this the bulb bed because there's so many things like the alliums and the tulips, and I had daffodils, which they've already run their course. And then of course we have these beautiful Spanish bluebells here that I think are kind of invasive, but they bring me so much joy and fill up a lot of space in the garden and bring color early on in the season. But here is a view of it as I walk backwards. So you can see it's got lavender, 3 different varieties of lavender. We've got the alliums in the back, which grow massively. I think there's 3 different varieties of lilies that will pop up in here, and some foxgloves in there for some color. And I'm so excited about this Jerusalem sage right here. I just planted this a couple weeks ago, and it was down here, and now it's putting up these shoots, which it looks like there's some like little flower buds coming up. So I'm so excited to have that in the garden, and it brings some more fullness and bushiness. And of course, what I'm most excited about this year is looks like we're gonna have another foxglove. Last year, the foxglove had to have been at least 6 feet tall. I don't know if this one will be as massive, but I am excited to see. I wanted to highlight these alliums. I've got 4 here, and last year I was able to document them week to week because the growth was so impressive to me. So earlier this week they were down to here, and now they're here. So that's about a foot growth in 1 week. So if you think that I should come out here with a tape measure and do that again this year, be sure to give a like to the video or comment do it in the comment section. And over here we have that really beautiful hot pink reddish rose bush, and as you can see, it's already putting out little budlets all over, so it'll just be a matter of time before this is covered in bloom. And once again, we've got that with the Spanish bluebells and some tulips. And you know what I love about this space? I never pull this stuff up because I think it brings so much charm and cuteness, but we have some bulbs that made their way into the cracks of our little divider here, some more here, and then a little tiny foxglove right there. So those get to stay and bring more joy as we walk into this space. So we need a little bit of a scrub and a paintbrush here, but here is our cute little gate. We're gonna be getting a new trellis this year. This was a really cool Pinterest DIY project that my father-in-law and my husband made for me a few years ago, and it was so cute. But the paneling of the door, it was an old antique door that they used, is peeling off just because of the weather out here. But here is this space that once again is full of dandelions, and I'm gonna pull all those up, but some of them look pretty scrumptious, and I might turn them into a quiche, a dandelion quiche, because I mean, look at that. That's a lot of greens right there. And then I have a poor little forlorn blueberry plant here that needs some attention, and I need to put some more fertilizer and stuff there. These are also, I did not plant these. These are actually kind of a weed, but they make a beautiful stalk-like purple flower. So I'm gonna keep that and see if I want to pull all that out at the end of the season. But in the meantime, here is this garden space, and I'm gonna show you some things that I'm really excited about. Here is this little darling rose bush that I got I wanted it to grow up over the trellis, but since we're gonna replace the trellis, I will start training it later on after that happens. But it looks like there's a little bud that wants to open up really soon, in next week maybe, hopefully. But this is a beautiful pink. I never took the the thing off because I wanted to remember what it is. But it is called Pearly Gates, and this is going to be this beautiful little pink rose. I have this columbine, which it's so fluffy. I don't know what variety it is, but I planted it last year and it never flowered, but here it is flowering this year. I'm so excited. And then we have so many things that are coming to life, popping up. They're gonna live out here in the garden. We've got a couple of it looks like poppies that are gonna come up. We've got some yarrow that's gonna come up there. Some borage in multiple places over there are going to come up. And then I've got 1, 2, 3 more columbines. They're going to probably be different varieties. And I'm hoping that this verbena will come back. I think it might be supposed to be a perennial, but, oh, it says perennial. But it hasn't come back yet. So we will see about that. Also, I planted this last year. This is lemon balm. And it smells amazing. It kind of has a little bit of a citronelle kind of scent. And then I have some snapdragons, and you can't see it here, but I will come up here. I put some alyssum seeds here, and I just put it like right here. And as you can see, there's a bunch of little teeny tiny little seedlings. So hopefully they will survive. I have a really big problem with slugs, and I think maybe roly-polies, potato bugs, pill bugs, whatever you call it in your region, that eat seedlings. So we'll see what survives. But so there's some hope that we might have something cute along the border of this walkway. And then I've got 2 foxgloves right there that I am hoping will bloom this year because they were here last year. And then look how tall the rose bush already is. Like, you could see it in the intro of my video that it's taller than me at this point, and I am 5'8". So that's pretty big, and it's just full of buds that are going to come and open up and be the most magical orangey, pinky sunset color. And then these are doing very healthy. This one has a little bit of an aphid problem, and I came out here and hosed it down with water last night and got like 90% of the aphids off. So I might have to come out here again because I see quite a bit, but sort of the same thing. Look at this. There's going to be a beautiful red bloom opening up right here probably in the next week. And then this is a beautiful white and blush colored rose bush, and it is just full of buds as well. So hopefully the aphids don't ruin the first batch of buds. I'm not super worried. I feel like every year the aphids are really bad in the beginning, but as the season progresses and more of the beneficial insects breed and come to visit the garden, it really becomes not a non-issue. Oh, there's another red one that's going to open up at some point, and this one is such a fragrant rose. I don't know the exact variety because it was already here when I moved. And then I've showed you this before, but here are my grow bags. I'm going to have to revamp them. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to get all the dandelions out of the pathway. And I'm thinking I might put some kind of creeping thyme or something along these rocks on the bottom as a little carpeting area for the grow bags or pots, whatever ends up being the final decision for that spot. If I could ever convince you it's worth it to have a garden, this place is proof, and I'm going to show you why, because I know it still looks a little bit unkempt. There's work to be done, but I'm going to show you why. Even if you're planting perennials or annuals, some of them self-sow, and you don't have to do as much work in your garden the next year. These snapdragons here were planted last year, and they never died off throughout the winter, and now they are seriously about to burst forth with flower any day now. I'm so excited. And then this yarrow I planted last year, and it was great, but it's gotten even bushier as the season has started back again, and it's just about to be so full of flowers. And we have white ones, but look at this. Yarrow is a host plant for ladybugs, and there's 2 of them here, and hopefully there's more babies on this plant somewhere. Maybe they'll go up there to my rose bushes and eat those aphids, because they are a predator for them. But in the meantime, they are very cute and they are very welcome here. And then in this spot, I'm going to show you, I'm going to get down on the ground and show you something I'm excited to find. This right here, my friends, is a Cosmo seedling. And in this bed and that bed and over here, I had 3 different varieties of Cosmos. And I was like, why aren't they popping up again? Because they dropped so much seed. So right now, this is the only one that I have seedling from it. And it's giving me hope that more are going to come soon. But I also had grown dahlias over here. And here's some tubers that I must have left in the ground here, as well as it looks like some are coming up here and here. I thought I had dug everything up, but that's exciting. I wonder what color they'll be. And then I had sunflowers in all the back parts of these beds here. I'm going to plant more this year, but some have already self-sown themselves. Here's one. I see one about to pop out here. There's one right there, as well as over in that other bed, there is some other little sunflower seedlings. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So who knows what varieties those will be, but I'm really excited about that. I'm going to plant some more on purpose, but I'm going to let these self-seeders stay, because I feel like they really want to live here. I had planted some parsley for the butterflies, because these are a host plant for a lot of different swallowtail varieties. But I bought this plant right here. It is called, what is it called? Angelica, I think. Yes, Angelica. I've never had that before, but it apparently is a host plant for this particular variety of swallowtail out here. And I really would love to have more colorful butterflies visit my garden. Here I believe is some salvia or something that I may have started over here. Not sure, but it's come back, and I'm gonna let it grow and see what happens. This is beyond exciting to me. Let me get down here so you can see. Look at all these seedlings. These are Bells of Ireland seedlings. I did not plant these. I had grown some last year in this spot, and I decided I was not going to grow them again this year because I kind of ran out of time to give them a start indoors. But it looks like they did not need it. They had just self-sown from the seeds that dropped off of the former plants from last year. So hopefully some of them will grow to maturity, but that's exciting since I hadn't even done the work for that. It did the work for me. As well as our strawberries are full of blooms, so we might get a little bitty strawberry harvest over here this year. I wanted to show this space to show you that patience is key, because last week I had made a video about the 5 things to start in your garden direct-sow right now. And out of those things in this area, it was radishes, beets, and carrots. Now, radishes are a very short season, like a short time to grow kind of crop, which is why I planted 3 different varieties along the sides of this dahlia bed, and they don't take as much space. But since they're such fast-growing crops, I thought, they should have germinated already. Maybe my seeds were bad, whatever, and I was kind of bummed. And I thought the same thing about over there with the beets. I was like, well, if the radishes aren't coming up, nothing's going to come up. Well, I want to show you that that is not true. these have popped up. These are little radish seedlings, and over here, and they're actually all along the sides, on both sides. You just have to get down really low to see them. And as well as I've got even more dahlia tubers that are popping up. I thought I was only going to have this and that one down there, but there's multiple places where new little starts are coming up. And so just whatever you put in the ground, have patience, check on it. Don't forget about it necessarily, but don't check it every minute. Don't check it every day. Let yourself be shocked and surprised when they do what they know to do, which is to thrive and survive. Here's the peas. I still need to put some supports up here for them to climb up. I had planted some carrots and some beets in these beds, and nothing has popped up yet. So once again, I'm going to try to practice what I preach and not stress about it. They can take a little bit longer to get started, to germinate, before they get established. So I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to water it like they're going to come up, and I will inform you after that happens. This little bed is getting kind of messy, and I think I'm going to cut back some of these calendula just because there could be some healthier branches, or take off some of these that look a little bit meh, but they're doing really well, and obviously they are blooming and bringing some color over here. I had put some spinach seeds over here and some kale. Now I think this particular bed does get a lot of pest pressure because some of the spinach had sprouted, but they're gone now, so I think something came and ate them. Hopefully not all of them, but hopefully we'll be able to see something in this area. Anyway, whether it comes up or not, I'm not stressed. I'll just plant more things in here. I've got some gladiolas that are coming up in this bed here and over there. And I should have some dahlias in a couple of spots come up over here because I did not dig those up. So we'll see about that. But I'm not going to pull or weed in this area. I'm just going to water. The only weeds I'm going to pull are like these grass things, because I don't want them to get established in this bed. I worked really hard to get most of them out. But that is pretty much it with the tour. I wanted to take you on some quick tours of some beautiful places we got to experience this April. Me and my family went to the Washington Park Arbitrum. I can never pronounce that word, but you can kind of Google it and find what I'm talking about. And it's just acres and acres of flowering trees and plants and so many things to look at. And this is just a cute little fairy tale cottage that's there. And it just had all these camellias, which are so fluffy and full. And the trees were full, even though so many had already fallen on the ground. But this is my favorite thing about spring. And then Katana wanted me to take all of these that she picked up off the ground home in my purse. And then these are Quonset cherry trees, and they are my favorite cherry tree variety. I love Japanese cherry trees. Of course, those are beautiful, but I love how fluffy and full the blooms are on these trees. We went to the Japanese gardens there, and it's such a tranquil, peaceful place. And it was just full of different varieties of rhododendrons, water features, and rocks to cross over. And this, I think, is some kind of variety of wisteria. It hadn't bloomed yet, but it had these buds that looked like they were about to. So I'd like to go back and see what it is. But the kids really enjoyed being in this space. My husband got to go to Japan last year for his work, and he said that this was really, really authentic to it. And so it's probably the closest I'll get for a while to go to see it myself. But once again, these Quonset cherry trees are just like poof balls of pink flowers. I love them. My dad came to visit this week, and we went to Pike Place Market in Seattle. And when you're there, you've got to see the flowers, you've got to see the fish, and I feel like it's illegal to leave without buying a bouquet. So that's what I did, one full of daffodils and tulips. And speaking of tulips, I also took my dad to the tulip town in Mount Vernon, Washington, and it is just so just breathtaking. Like all these different varieties and colors of tulips, just for on acres and acres of it, is so lovely, and I love this so much. And then we went to Anderson Island, which is a little island kind of off of Tacoma, Washington, that you can only access by ferry. But what I love about this place is that they have this giant community garden. This is just part of it. But I love that so many people in the community come together to create such a beautiful space that just produces so much food, so many flowers. And check out these asparagus. They are so tall. And even though it's still kind of early in the season, so many things were coming to life, kind of like my garden. And I am going to definitely be coming back later in the season to see, what goes on, because I always get so much inspiration and ideas from what I see growing and what they have kind of coexisting together in their garden. And they always have like a lot of birds and wildlife flying around. And I saw this little guy, he's a barn swallow, and I tried to get a little bit closer to him before I spooked him, but his little head was this kind of iridescent blue color, and it was so pretty. And it's just so peaceful out here. I hope to live here one day. We actually have a little property that we are yet to develop, so hopefully that happens soon. Thanks so much for joining us today and seeing everything that's popping up in my garden. Let me know something that's coming up in yours that is bringing you so much joy. I would love to hear it. If you enjoyed this tour today, be sure to like and to follow so that you can see more of the garden as it progresses throughout the whole gardening season. We're just at the beginning now. It'll only get better from here. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.